All right, this video is going to show you a very particular kind of thing that you can do. This is for when you're teaching multiple sections of the same course in the same semester. And so most of the content is going to be similar. You've got your learning management system. You have a choice. You can make a separate page for each course, and then anything you update or tweak in one, you're going to want to mirror on the other to make sure they're in sync. Or you can set up one page, one platform for both courses, and then you can any updates are going to be automatically applied to all the students in both sections. And then there may be a couple of things that you want only visible to this section, only visible to that section. Top of my mind, syllabus is a big example of that. If you've got, this course is at 10 a.m. and this course is at noon, you're going to want to have separate syllabus for each of those. And so I'm going to show you how to make the different each syllabus visible only to students from that section. Yeah, let's have some fun with that. So here is my site for my course, and if I go into the module section, you see right away in the general course info section, I've got two different syllabus pages and two different calendar pages. Now, whether you post a calendar on there or not is entirely up to you how you post the syllabus. But this is a great example of the kind of thing where I have section A1 and section A2. Students from one section can only see this. Students from the other section can only see that. How did that happen? Well, it's really straightforward. I'm going to go into the syllabus for A1. And I have it linked as a Google Doc here. That's fine. You can hit the edit button here. Again, the content can be whatever, right? You can do this with any kind of content. The key is the assign access section. You see here I have assign access Ling 101 - lecture A1. Now I'm gonna delete that because you start off not having that, and I'm gonna have to do this a little bit carefully because I have students actually registered and I don't want you to see any student names. But if I click in the assign access field here, I've just scrolled up so you can't see the student names, but it pops up with everyone. You can have the default both sections, or the next two options. Below this it starts listing individual students, but the next two options are this section or that section. So I pick that one and I scroll down. That's the one that's got access. Okay, and it really is that easy. All I have to do now is hit save, boom, and that page in the module is only visible to students from that section. I've done the same with the other one for the other section, so students from section A2 can only see the other syllabus. I post a Google Calendar and a link to a calendar file for all the lectures and stuff. That's the calendar thing. You can do that with anything, right? Another way that this feature, I've used this feature before, is if someone has, for example, a deferred exam and it's an online exam, then you can put that exam on Canvas and only give access to the one or two or however many students have been approved for a deferred exam, right? So you can list individual students one by one as needed. So it's a pretty neat feature to be able to have. eClass had something similar, but this is how it works in Canvas. And like I say, I think this is a great way, if you're teaching the same course, it's going to be the same content, same quizzes. It can even be slightly different quizzes and do the same thing with quizzes as I was doing with the syllabus here. You have to do a little bit more stuff in the grade book to make sure that things are all lined up, but that's absolutely doable. This is what I'm doing this semester with my two sections of Ling 101. It's what I recommend to anyone who has largely, predominantly identical sections of the same course in the same semester. Hope this helps.